Getting a two-step to work properly in a stick shift car, mechanically and electronically, is game-changing. We're going to check it. I've already changed it, but we're going to check it. We have definitely been missing the two-step version on my white car, and we've been foot pedaling it pretty good for the last couple of years, but I think there's a little bit of ET and 60 foot available there, and we're about to find out. Be a little more consistent. This is our two-step switch. This is the bracket we started making. Now, honestly, to be honest with you guys, I just went to Tractor Supply and bought, I think this is like a door mending whatever, and I just cut a slot in it, like cut that out and made a couple little tabs and kind of lined everything up. Didn't have a whole lot of time in it or money. This switch was like $20 on Amazon, as I mentioned, and it's an elevator switch or whatever you want to call it. It'll go one way or the other, and it's got 4 wires that we could actually hook up a momentary switch to it too. So I'm gonna get the excess cut off, and we're gonna install it right here on our T56 bolt, and obviously right here on our shatter, like on our shield here. So when this fork will drive the whole switch, and I can dial it in with my two-step. So let me clearance this thing up, paint it up a little bit, put the switch back on it, and we'll get it mounted back on the car. And then I'll show you how it works. And we'll start getting wired up with the holley on the two-step, which I already have hooked up with the push button on the shifter. But now I'll be able to, even with a momentary switch, would be really cool. Okay, we got it all set up. And there's like a 4-wire switch, like I had mentioned. And there's actually a diagram if you look at the bottom here. So we got this, it's pretty sturdy. It's a pretty sturdy little bracket. It's not going anywhere with vibration. I think we're gonna run the wire up through where the speedometer cable is, because I don't think that grommet actually sticks really well, and then we'll come through the dash. It's got plenty of length here. And I think my clutch switch actually has, I think I'm gonna hook a momentary up with it after I get the switch actually dialed in. How this actually works is this is just an elevator switch. So every time I push the clutch in, it's gonna close the circuit because it's open right now. So we're gonna actually wire it up to where it closes. And I'm gonna adjust this on my slot. When I let the clutch out, it opens the circuit and it disconnects two-step. So that I'll adjust that on my actual clutch. The nice thing about this bracket is once I set that distance, I won't never have to worry about readjusting it. It should be just fine. A two-step switch is probably one of the most important switches that you're gonna have on a stick shift car. And we haven't been running it for years, but now we're gonna get an opportunity to do that and maybe pick up some ET and some 60 foot. We already 60 foot really well in this car on a good sticky track, probably 127. I've been as low as 122. So building a little bit of boost with that small frame we got going on, that might be up our alley. But remember, we're doing all this stuff with the coil-on plug so we can put this bigger turbo in as well. We got that 80 millimeter that we've had on the channel for a number of years. So that big turbo will definitely make a difference in our car. We'll see, guys. You know, we're just getting the white car ready for the end of 2024. And we're gonna be working actively on the coupe this winter. Okay, so it's a little bit dark in here, but I'm gonna use the black and the red wire according to the schematic. And this was my clutch switch that I made. So we're gonna rig up something real quick, and just to test this out, I'm gonna go ahead and take the car out of the shop, and we should be able to do most of what we need to do under the car right here. This goes over to my holley in one of my inputs. Okay, so there's 2 ways that we're gonna actually set this switch up, and we're gonna try both ways it's best for our car. And I got this little indicator light that takes a power and takes a ground. And one way or the other, we're gonna have 5 volts on one side or a ground on the other to make this light up instead of having to actually run the car. In order to make this make sense, just a momentary button that we had here, we could also use the one on top of this, but this is my scramble, or put one on the wheel. And it comes over here and touches a ground. Since my input is set to a ground input, this is my pedal switch, black and red. So I'm gonna run the pedal switch through the momentary. And when I stage, I push the clutch in, I hold this button while the clutch is in, it will then ground this light and show me that it's working. After I pull the clutch out, even if I still have this depressed, it's gonna break the contact circuit and this light should go out, and I can just let go of this whenever I feel like it. So we're gonna check that real quick. That's one way to do it. And you can mechanically adjust the flare slash when the clutch engages with the bracket that I made. The other way is a little more complicated, where you set up, like I was talking about, where you push the clutch in, hit the momentary button, and let go of it. Running through a relay will power the two-step input that I have assigned on my holley. And as soon as I let the clutch go and breaks the contact to 5-volt, then it should be good. So either way works. You could also use a wheel speed, which we don't have in the car. We're gonna check this real quick. I'm gonna do it with the light, so I don't even have to turn the car on. So if you got any questions, hit me up in the comments below. So bear with me, I'm gonna try to give you as much light as possibly can. Got the clutch here, okay? When I depress this clutch with my lever switch on my fork, the light is not on. If I grab this momentary, clutch is still in, light turns on. We have it set to the light right now would basically be holley signal. Now I go to slowly take the clutch off, light goes off, on, off, on, off. When I'm racing, I can go stage, okay? Come in here, put this button somewhere convenient, hold the button, and two-step is active. So when I launch, it deactivates, I just let go. You're not timing your launch off this button, adjusting your launch to your clutch pedal. All you're doing is powering it here. You just let this go whenever you launch at your convenience. See that? And then every time you touch the pedal, none of that red light turns on. So the last part of the video, we're gonna actually fire the car up and see where our red light comes on when we actually engage the clutch pedal. So we're gonna try to do this the best, but you know, it's nighttime, so we'll be able to see the light a little bit better too anyways, so. So I want to see where the light goes out. Sorry about the shadow. Actually, we'll turn it off. So I want to see where the light goes off. See, it's on now. I'm going to put it in first gear. Try to video this the best I can when the car moves. So here we go. That's perfect. Goes out literally right when the clutch hits. See my foot. Okay, we're out at our spot that we're going to test our car. And we're just checking for a clutch to see if it activates at the right time. It's going to blow the damn tires off, I know that, but I just want to see how it engages. And you'll see it right here with this red light on, so we will try it. Obviously with traction it's going to change it a little bit, but that's okay. So it seems like to me that's going to work out pretty good. The only way to actually see for sure is to go test it. The nice thing about what we got going on with that switch underneath the car that you've seen us building with that bracket is I'm able to actually adjust the lever switch, manipulate where that red light goes out at, where the signal goes to holley on two-step. But I just wanted to make a video of what we were doing here in the white car. I think the two-step is going to change the game for what we got going on. We already launched really good with the car just using our foot pedal because of the way we got it set up. But I would rather be a lot more consistent. I know that two-step will do that for me. And to be honest with you, dialing in a two-step switch and getting it to work correctly mechanically and electronically in a stick shift car is essential. And I can't wait to go out and test it and see if it works. Again, we're going to set it up on a relay with using a 5-volt input instead of a ground. So that's a whole nother video that I'll try to change to and see which way I like the best. Wanted to bring that two-step video to you. Try to do a lot of how-to stuff here on the channel as we experience here. I know some people wire it up a little bit differently, but real quick, pedal switch. When I push the pedal in, it activates the circuit, but it doesn't close the circuit until I push the momentary button. I can leave the momentary button pushed and not have to worry about the timing of the launch on my hand versus mechanically on the pedal. And then I could just let go of the button when I get ready to shift the second. So at least with the pedal switch, it'll be consistent. It'll be set up for mechanically for the car where the clutch engages and in the way the car leaves and whatever. So it'll be something that I can dial in and get better at. If you guys enjoy this sort of content, leave me a comment below. Let me know how you got your car wired up. Let me know what you think about what we got going on here. Check out that join button, become a member of the channel. They get exclusive content to the channel. Outside of that, leave me a subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and I helped you. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon in the next one.